Hey, all, Rob here. Don't forget to subscribe. And this video topic is about comic book characters and superheroes. How, since there's no end point, one thing that Japan does right, manga, anime, is the creators of those series have the guts to end a popular series. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and then there's an end. And after that, there's almost no other new material. Maybe once in a while you get a special edition or something, but it's over. And the creators move on to different projects and different ideas. I think one reason why The Watchmen was popular in America is it's one of the first or one of the few superhero series that had a clear beginning, middle, and end. It told the story, and that was it. And of course, any of this other stuff DC has done without Moore writing it, that doesn't count. I don't think any fan of the original Watchmen counts any of this other material as being real or even mattering. And with superheroes, it's like there is no end point because a corporation owns it and you make money. Why would you end a character and never bring it back? It makes no sense from a financial perspective. Plus, even if you wrote an end point, if the original creators did not end the character or the series, who are you, a creator who appeared years later, who never invented the character, who never made it, who never had a significant influence in terms of the character development? Who are you to end a character, take it off the board, and no one else can use it? See, that's an issue I have with some creators like, let's say J.M. DeMatteis. Am I spelled the name wrong? Fantastic stories he wrote in Spider-Man. I mean, really fantastic stuff. But he took Craven and he took Harry Osborn off the board. He never created Craven. He never created Harry Osborn. He never guided them through those first years that developed the character. So who are you to end a character and then decades later, 10, 20, 30 years later, nobody else could use the character because someone else killed off the character. And so no one else could use the character in modern stories because one writer who never made the character in the first place took him off the board. That's one reason why Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, who will only be the real Batgirl who ever mattered, I'm okay with them undoing what Alan Moore did. Because Alan Moore never made Batgirl, he never made Barbara, he never created the character, and so was he to fundamentally change a character, and from that point on, nobody could bring the character back as Batgirl. Who are you, Alan Moore, to fundamentally change a character? That's the problem also with creators. It's like, if you're going to fundamentally change a character or kill them so others can't use them, who are you? Unless you made the character or co-created it or even had a hand in revolutionizing the character, then who are you as a creator to take someone off the board so that future generations can never use the character again in modern stories? That's one of those issues I have with comic creators now. Better than killing the character is taking them, putting them in exile or something, somewhere, or suspended animation or whatever, where they're still alive, but future creators can use the character again. You see, the problem is for comic book drama, writers think they have to kill off a character to matter. But it leaves a little impact with the jaded audience who knows it doesn't matter. because you're going to bring the character back. People might complain that, okay, Jean Grey returned when she originally died, the Dark Phoenix saga, right? But Jean Grey was a popular character in the 1960s, an original X-Men character. Who are you, John Byrne and Chris Claremont, to remove Jean Grey so that no one else could ever use her again in modern stories? I personally think the characters created by Stan, by Steve Ditko, by Jack Kirby, by John Romita, Gene Colan, the whole 60s stuff. I personally have great respect for those characters, that they should be preserved timeless. They should not be fundamentally changed to the point where you can't undo it. The founders of the Marvel Universe, character-wise, these are the characters with the most history. Their costume designs, their attitudes, it should all be respected. And that also sets up the problem of change, because if you don't have change, the comic books become very dry. Why would you bother reading 10 issues of Superman? Lois Lane is trying to guess his identity, and then it gets wiped away as not mattering the next issue. Or Lex Luthor uses a special ray to make Superman look weak, and then he never uses the ray again in future issues, like it never happened, and it's never mentioned again. That's one reason why Marvel overtook DC in the 1960s, was DC for many years was not changing. What you had in one issue, the next issue did not matter, like it never existed. And so if you have 20 issues of that, where the characters don't acknowledge their past, and there's absolutely no change, and the status quo never changes, it's dry, it's boring, you're wasting your time. And that's one reason why the Marvel age grew, was the developments in character. You originally look at the Fantastic Four, Reed and Sue were not married, they were engaged, Namor was going after Sue, the Human Torch had issues, so did the Thing. He didn't get along with the rest of the team, and then he became like the fan favorite, he became very friendly. Things changed, things evolved. Spider-Man, he went from high school, he graduated, he entered college. You need Iron Man originally. There was no Pepper Potts, there was no Happy. He got introduced to characters who became meaningful to him as the story progressed. You have to have change to matter in comic books. The thing is, eventually, these changes get undone generations later, and it sucks, But sometimes, like it or not, that's the way it has to be. Because you can only change so far, and then it has to be pulled away, unfortunately. The only change that you're going to have that matters and that lasts is if you actually own the book as a creator, like an Image. If you actually own the property and not a corporation, then you could dictate the character's life and say, this is it, this character's not returning, or whatever's going on here, you control it. But if it's a corporation that owns it, I don't know, So that's my view on it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.